Hi everyone, I'm Carol Keller, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Illinois in the US, and I have a card today using the Cheers and Sips stamp set. I've had a lot of fun with this set. This is not the first card I've designed with it, so check out my other videos to find the other one. And again, it's just a fun set. It's different. It's not flowers. It's not a specific holiday like Christmas. It's just a fun set that you can use for a birthday card or a congratulations card or whatever. So, all right, let's get started. Here is today's card. I hope you like it. I'm going to do one slight change, very, very minor change from what this card looks like. And I'm going to show you how I made the label, especially the back one, because, well, you'll see there's not one of that size in the die set that I use. So I'll explain that when we get to it, and I'll show you how to do it. But I am starting with a strawberry slush card base. A lot of times I start with basic white, but this one definitely called for a color, and I could have just layered color on the front, but this is easier because you would have had to put 2 layers anyway. So strawberry slush card base, and I have a piece of basic white. It is 4 inches by 4 inches by 5 1/4, or 10 centimeters by 14.4. And actually I have 2 of them, and we're going to kind of work on both. They're both the same size, and let's double check that. Yep, same size. So one is for the outside and one is for the inside. And I think we will actually start with the inside first, because then we can kind of finish it, or mostly finish it, and then we'll work on the outside. So for the inside, I have 2 sentiments layered on the same block. It's your day, let's celebrate. And if you wanted to, you could do them separately and do them in different colors, but I decided I wanted to make it a little quicker, and so I'm just using Summer Splash. And so we're going to ink that up and stamp. And on the bottom, so I'm going to put this away for now. And on the bottom, we're going to stamp with Memento black. So we'll bring that in. And we're going to basically do it twice. So once on the inside. And then again, we're going to take the outside and do this. And then we're going to take the other glass that comes with the set, and we'll do the same thing. I'm going to bring this back in. We're going to overlap them so they're clinking together. That's the idea. Oops, that's okay. And then I'm going to re-ink, and we're going to do the same thing here. And I can see I have this a little too over to the right, but it isn't going to matter. I wanted to make them the whole thing kind of centered, but it isn't going to matter because of the way we're cutting them apart. But I am putting them closer together. That's really the only change from this one. I separated them because I kind of wanted to cut them in between, but I want to see what it looks like this way. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to close the Memento black, but we're not done with it, because we're going to color in the kind of the liquid, the lemonade and the strawberry lemonade in the glasses. And then we're going to stamp the ice cubes. I found that was better. When I stamped the ice cubes first, they got a little bit more kind of blurry, for lack of a better word. So we'll do that first. We'll do the coloring, finish with our Memento black, and then we'll continue with everything else. So first, I'm going to bring in Lemon Lolly. So we have a little more stamping to do. And we're going to stamp one here. I did that before too. Well, that one's not going to matter because we're going to color it in. Well, we're going to color both of them in, but I'm not quite sure. That's better. Well, it didn't stamp completely, but now it did. And that is it for right now for Lemon Lolly. We'll do the same thing. We'll use it on the whole card front. So what I did once I stamped it here was I stamped it randomly, and I'm going to grab a scrap too, because we're going to be stamping off. So I'll ink that one more time. And again, I'm just stamping randomly around the card, but also off. I did it again. This one does matter. Let's re-ink. Not loving that, but we're gonna go with it. Yeah, I don't know. I did not have these issues the first time, so I'm not sure what the problem is today. Maybe because I had the ink pad sitting on the other one and it's not getting inked completely. I don't know, but that is good for now. So we're done with the lemon lolly and we don't need that one again. Now I'm going to bring in strawberry slush. And I am going to move the black just in case that is the issue, because I don't know, I didn't have issues with it before. That's the only thing that's different. Ink it up. And again, we're going to put one up here, overlapping the edge of the glass so it looks like hopefully it's sticking out of it. And then we're going to keep re-inking. Got a little boo-boo there, we'll cover that up. And I'm turning the strawberry kind of this way and that a little bit and filling in the spaces. And I'd say that looks pretty good. And I did cut a label. We're gonna finish our stamping. So this is good for right now. I did cut a label in lemon lolly, so we're gonna stamp that cheers to you, especially while I have the strawberry slush. So we have the cheers and strawberry slush, like I said. Make sure that's pretty straight. And we're done with the strawberry slush. We're going to bring in Summer Splash one more time. And then we will be done with all of our stamping. I'm going to actually straighten this out. Ink it up. And stamp it here. So that should be good. So yes, that is all of our stamping. And we are going to do some coloring. Oh, I'm not loving that, but we're going to go with it because I don't want to color in everything. That would fix it if I colored in all of them, but I don't really want to do that. And the reason I decided not to color them in is I wanted the focus to be on the glasses and that just to be a more subtle background. And I feared that if I colored them all in, well, not only would it take a lot of time, but I think it would detract from the glasses and I didn't want to do that. So we will start with the light lemon lolly. And I'm going to use that to kind of color in the wedges of the lemon. And we have to do it on the inside of the card and the outside. Now I'm going to take my dark lemon lolly and the bullet end this time. And I basically just, it's hard to see, actually I can see them a little bit. Maybe I will leave it. Because this is so light and you'll see it's better with the strawberry slush, it's hard to see the little detail, but actually I can see it. So I think I'm going to leave it. If you can't, you can do like I did on this and just, I was making little dots inside there so it looked more texturized, but I think I'm going to skip it on this one. So instead of the bullet end, I'm going to use the brush end. Now we're going to color in, and all I did was kind of make a line that I didn't care if it was perfectly straight because it's liquid in there. And I tried to go all the way from top to bottom so that there weren't any kind of streaks or places where it was a little darker and that kind of thing. So I am going to fast forward through the rest of this. And so you can see even on the top, it's a little tiny bit darker. We'll see when that dries, but here it looked like it covered pretty well. So if I feel like that's a little darker, I may go through it one more time, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Next, we're going to take, I think I used the light strawberry slush for the lemonade and for the strawberries. So I've got my brush end. I'm gonna color in the strawberries. I definitely use the light strawberry slush for this, because I found that I could then still see the little detail on the strawberry seeds when I use the light. If you use the dark, it's going to cover them up. Maybe I did use the dark. We'll use the dark for the strawberry lemonade, which is kind of what my thought was for what this is. And we're going to start about here and do the same thing, color it in again, trying to kind of do single lines all the way down as much as possible, as I just felt like that was ended up with a better result. All right, and I'm going to use my color lifter, and I made just a little boo-boo at the bottom, and I'm going to do this one off camera and be right back. All right, and I've taken off some of the color, so I'm going to be good with that, and then I'll probably work on it a little more. I found that you have to kind of wait for it to dry and, you know, that kind of thing. I did not realize I had such a messy spot there, but we're good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to take my dark Summer Splash blend, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color here with the bullet end, color it in to get that feel of the leaves a little bit. I'm even overlapping the strawberry slush parts a little bit at the tips to give it more of that green feel. And that is it. So our coloring is done. And the only thing I said our stamping was done, we actually have one more quick thing. I'm going to bring in Memento Black again. I'm going to grab the ice cubes, ink those up. And we're just going to put them in the bottom of each glass, re-inking each time. And now all of our stamping is done. And we have one more thing. We have to cut one more label. So I'm going to move all of this aside for right now. I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so I've got my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This was the die that I used for the cheers, okay? And I'm going to use this one, and you can see it's much, much bigger. Too big, in fact, to use. I don't want that wide of a space on either side. So this is how I'm going to get around that. So I'm going to cut it. I actually can put it closer to the edge. I don't need it that long, okay? So I'm going to cut it so it's at least long enough to make my background. Actually, I'm going to leave a little more space because I want space on each side. So I want it a little bit longer than this one, say about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, something like that. I'm going to take this out. I don't need that in there. Grab a little piece of washi tape to hold it in place. And we're going to run it through. We'll do it this way, because I really can put this even on the edge and over the edge a little bit, because let's see, yeah, I don't need the whole thing. Well, I will, let's do this. We're going to run it through like that, so the cardstock is completely on the plate. carefully take my washi tape off. And now I'm going to adhere these together because it is going to be important for placement. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal, put my washi up here for now, and we're going to adhere these two. I'm putting it right at the edge because I don't want too much of a border. I want a similar border to the top and bottom. It's a little bit longer, but it's very close. Now I'm going to take this again, and I know I want to cut it pretty much right next to it like that, but I don't want to cut everything. So I'm going to put my washi tape here, and let's see. It's hard because normally I would line it up with the holes, but I think it's kind of impossible to do that. And I don't want it to have too much overlap on this side because I don't want there to be sort of double sets of holes. So anyway, I'm going to put my washi tape and hold it in place. We'll put it right here. And I just want that very edge to be cut. So I'm going to put it at the edge of my plate because I don't want a lot of the rest of it cut. And whatever's hanging, excuse me, hanging off the plate is not going to be cut. So I'm going to put these together like this. And hopefully you can see. Start it going through here so that you can see it's very much, I'm putting it right to the edge. I just want that edge to be cut. I'm going to do this. And hopefully it works. Let's move this out of the way and get the plates out of the way. Let's see what we've got. Take off the washi. Beautiful. So you can see there's a little bit of overlap right at the end where there are kind of double circles, but I don't think anyone's going to notice that. That's why I think if you cut it just the very edge, you're going to be fine. All right, let's start assembling the card. We're going to put this on the inside. So I'm going to grab my seal. And this is nice. This is the reason that we could color the glasses because it only shows on the back and it won't show on the back of the card, obviously. We'll put that on the inside. And that is done. For the outside, we have one more thing to do before we place it here, and that's to cut this apart. So let me bring in my trimmer. So we are going to go through the glass, like I said. Doesn't matter where. It's just gonna, you know, it just means there won't be one in each panel, which I'm fine with. So I think I'm going to do it so that it comes mostly down one side, but through that lemonade a little. So all you have to do is hold the two pieces in place, the two pieces of cardstock that are cut, because you want it to be at the same, you know, angle and everything. So I think I'm going to do it about like this. Again, no exact science. You can cut it wherever you would like. And now I have my 4 pieces. I'll get my trimmer out of the way. And all I'm going to do is assemble them on the card. But instead of assembling them like this, we're just going to move them to the edges. So I'm going to take my seal for that. You could use your multi-purpose liquid glue if you'd like to. And we're just going to move them all the way to the edge. Like I said, if you want, and maybe we'll try that, we'll leave just a little bit of an edge on the outside. So another little variation, because you definitely want the spaces in between, because that's kind of the whole point of the card. And same thing, you're going to move it so that there's the same space around the outside, but that leaves also a space in the inside. Oh, I think I'm going to like this. Okay. Oh yeah, I do like that. I like that a lot. So now I just have to decide where the label's going to go. But before I put it on, I am going to grab some ribbon. And I've got the Strawberry Slush faux linen ribbon. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do first is put some seal on the back. I like to do that to hold the ribbon in place where I want it. And then we'll adhere it to the card with some dimensionals. So I don't think there's really a right side. So I'm starting it at one end and then just layering it like this. I think I'm gonna make that a little smaller on the bottom. And then purposely on this one, leaving this one up a little higher. So we're going to go a little lower with this one. I think we'll do it this way. And now I'm going to take my dimensionals. Always overlap my ribbon to help hold it in place, so that it's got adhesive on both sides. And I think we will put another one here and another one here. I tend to use a lot because I really don't like it to sag. Take the paper off. And now we'll decide on placement. I'm going to pull it up a little bit more toward the top. Well, I guess it's similar actually to this one, because I want both of those glasses to show. And I want it to be centered. See, probably about like that. And then last but not least, we've got bling, and for that I've got two different sets of bling. I have the 2024-2026 in color flat pearls, and I have the 2025-2027 in color flat pearls. And the reason that I do is because I use Summer Splash, which comes from this set, and the Strawberry Slush from this one. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. And I think I use the medium ones at the bottom because I didn't want them to be too big. And I think this time, because it's a little off balance, I'm going to put them on this side. So it really doesn't matter. And then the small ones are going to go on top, up here. And then we just need one more, and I am going to use the Summer Splash again, the medium-sized one, the middle-sized one. And I think we're going to do the same. We're going to put it right here. Whoops, we missed it. It's the putty moved. Hang on. There we go. And that's going to go right here. Aren't these beautiful? Love them. So now our card is complete. Yeah, I like it better with the bling on this side. Definitely like that better. So that is it. Those are the two variations of the card. Having the glasses be closer together rather than completely separated. And I like that. I like the overlap. I was afraid of how it would look, so I separated them, but I really do like this better. And I also like leaving the little border on the outside better. So you have your option, whichever you prefer. And hopefully my explanation for how to make this die cut a little smaller so that it overlaps this was okay, and that you'll give it a try because it's really not hard. But that is it. That's the card for today. Let me show you what else I used. Here is the Cheers and Sips stamp set. Whoops, got a little cat hair on there, I think. And I've already showed you the Stylish Shapes dies. I think one of them I must have out somewhere. I got to find that. I love these. I use them all the time. And so originally I was just going to use the smaller ones. And the reason that I didn't is that this one is too narrow for that Cheers to You. And so that's why I had to improvise, but I think it worked. I hope you like it. I showed you the bling, and that's it. No DSP today because we made our own. And I'm going to turn the camera back to myself to sign off. Thanks so much for joining me today. I say it all the time, but I really appreciate it. Appreciate you watching, and I really mean it when I say that. It means a lot to me for you to view my videos. Check out my other videos. Like I said, there's another Cheers and Sips card that I made that you can find on my channel. I have lots of other cards besides that. I have scrapbook pages. I do paper pumpkin alternatives every month. I have tips and techniques and beginner videos, and I have some home decor items as well. So hopefully there is something there that you will like and find useful. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. If you click on the bell, you'll be notified when I post new videos, which I do at least once a week now. I've been having a lot of fun doing that. And I think that's about it. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Happy stamping.